Hi, everyone. Happy hump day. Happy therapy day. I hope everybody's doing well. I see you all coming here. Thanks so much for joining us today. Totally. And when I say us, I mean Seth. I'm not like talking about myself in like the third person, all weirdo. But I just want you to know Seth is in the room. So, hey, Seth. And thanks everybody for joining me today. We're going to get into this identity thing. That's I named this show today Identity because I really am just so blown away by how identity has become so powerful in this way that everyone is obsessed with their identity. Now, that being said, you have to have an identity in order, I think, on some level to walk the world. But I've never in my life seen so much stress around how do you identify? It's always the question, how do you identify? It's I don't know. So I want to get into that in a little bit. But before we move forward, hey everyone, let's do some shout outs. What's going on, Jeannie? I see something here. I'm sorry. It's hard for me honestly to sort of pay attention to everything that's going on, but I didn't see something happen to Jeannie here. But hopefully you'll say it again and I can maybe see what's going on. But that being said, everyone. So let's find out where everyone's from. Let's do shout outs and then we'll get into some great conversation. And again, like always, I appreciate everyone being here today. And let's have a great, beautiful conversation and then move forward in the rest of our day. So Arkansas is in the house, right? Arkansas being the first, right on. The Netherlands is in the house. We need you in the house. Texas is in the house. The UK is in the house. Springfield, Oregon is in the house. We need Oregon. Wales, Arizona. Hey, right on. Iowa, Scotland. Wow, everyone's here today. Oregon, San Bernardino, Ukraine, right on. South Carolina. Middle East is. Are we talking about the Middle East? We might. Yuba Sutter, California, Connecticut, Vancouver. All right, right on. Upstate New York, Italy. I'll be in New York the 2nd through the 8th, by the way. Victoria, BC, right on. London, Amsterdam, right on. Hungary, right on. Excellent. Brazil, upstate New York. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. California transplant from Wisconsin, right on. And Florida, Tennessee. Here we go. Walmart. Well, you never know. Some people have to be in that parking lot. It's just the way it is. Manitoba's in the house, right on. Michigan is in the house. And yeah, Ukraine. My son's dad is from the Ukraine, so we have a connection to the Ukraine. And Germany's in the house. So here we go. You're right, my friend. You're right, Ty. We have a global army. It's really beautiful to see. Victoria's in the house, right on, and England's in the house. It's so beautiful. Thank you, New Jersey, for being in the house. And it is really beautiful. I do see Arkansas again. I see a beautiful community coming here, and I do see all of you, and I do appreciate Minnesota and South Dakota. I really do. It means a lot to me that we have such a diverse group of people. You know, one thing I do think I see here is I see more women than I see men, but I could be wrong because how do you know these days with names? But it just makes me think Washington is in the house, right on. That I do feel like I have a large group of women who follow me. So I think that's quite interesting. And I really love that a lot. It doesn't matter to me, the gender doesn't matter to me, anything does none of that stuff matters to me. You know that. But I just found it to be a man, right on. We have a man in the house. Checks between the legs. That doesn't even mean anything anymore, Mark. Check all you want. It's about identity. So it doesn't matter what you have between your legs, to be honest with you. That's a real thing. I kind of prove that on some level. So, all right, gonna have some water and hopefully today the TikToks work. I have some good stuff that I want to really talk about. And let's get into this identity stuff. And I was doing a little research this morning. I always kind of try to think about what kind of topics to talk about because I think topics help us move the conversation. Hey, Courtney, thank you. I saw that you missed last week. I'm sorry. And I hope everything is going okay with you. Yeah, a lot of mothers. You're right, Courtney. I have a lot of moms. I have a lot of parents. I have a lot of parents who follow me, and that means a lot to me. And I feel really honored that parents would feel um, connected to me on some level. Do I identify as a man? Yes, I identify as man, okay, but I'm not, and I very much understand that. But my identity, right on my if you saw my all of my my birth certificate, my driver's license, my passport, everything I have in the world, I check the M box because that's how I identify, right? Though I am not male, my identification, hence, that's what a transsexual is. A transsexual is somebody who, as we know, we cannot change our sex, but I chose to change my appearance in order for me to walk the world so that you all see me. You all see me as male, but we all know Buck is not a man. Buck is a transsexual who is female to male. You know, we used to be real chill about that in this community. We used to actually honor our journey as trans. Here's where I find the hypocrisy coming out of this newer trans space. They all talk about respecting identity and they all talk about trans joy and trans this and trans that. Yet, what is the number one thing? Let me ask all you, because you all show up every week and you kind of all know where I come from, right? Real quick here. Rachel says, Buck, yes, my daughter asked me something. I told her I wasn't sure how to answer, so I'd like to try to ask you. Yeah, please do. She wants to know how you knew you wanted to be a boy. Were you like, even when you, yeah, it's a really great question. And here's how I'm going to answer that. When did I want to be a boy? That's a really, really great question. I'm not sure if I ever wanted to be. Here's the difference between me and them. I don't want to be trans. No way do I want to be trans. I don't want to be this person. Okay. I am this person, if that makes sense. This is what I want you to tell your kiddo. Never do I want to be. Okay, I wished I was born male. That's really where I come from. I wish I was born a man, but I'm not. I wish I did not have gender dysphoria, but I have it. Okay. And so, for me to be able to really stand here with you and to be able to be a happy person, because I'm 100% happy person, I have to acknowledge my disorder. Okay. My mental disorder. I have a mental disorder that makes me not feel comfortable enough to walk the world as a female. It's really about appearance and it's about what I project onto the world and what I would like for you and me to be able to see. Because let's be honest here, visuals matter. Do they not matter? Visuals, when you walk down the street and you see a beautiful house and it does something to your body, because it does. You're like, wow, that house is incredible. So I'll use the example of my neighborhood. I live in a neighborhood that has 1920s craftsman, beautifully restored homes that are incredibly gorgeous. And I get this feeling when I see them. I look at detail. I look at, because I love detail. So that to me is something that gets me excited and makes me feel. It's the same when I want you to see me as a man. It's really what I want you to see, and I want you to be like, oh, I get it. Buck's house is this way. And I have to respect that Buck feels this way because Buck makes an effort for you and for me. It's really a two-way street. If you think about, oh, thanks, Tracy. Thanks so much. My mouse just went dead. Thanks for joining us, Tracy. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I just really want you to see that visuals matter to the world. That's why this new trans space, when they get so mad at you for not getting them, that's not how it works. I can't get mad at you for not appreciating my house. I want you to see my house, but am I forcing you to say Buck's house is beautiful? No, I'm not. You might not think it is because I see craftsmen, 1920s craftsmen, as beautiful. Doesn't mean you do. My parents don't like old houses. They think they're gross. They think they like new stuff. You know, some people like new houses, some people like old. It's the same with everything. Visuals do matter. So when I make myself look this way, there is no doubt that you don't see me as a man. I want anyone in this room to challenge that right now. Do any of you, if you did not know me, if you saw me in the supermarket, in the car wash, at the bank, walking down the street, if you and I crossed paths, would you say, oh, that's a woman? Would you say that? I really, honestly, really say to me the truth, what you actually feel. Thanks, Mark. Thanks so much, my friend. You're awesome. Thank you, friend. What would you see? Would you see a woman? You don't know me. Remember that. You don't know me from anywhere. You just see me walking down the street. You cross paths with me. I say hi to you because I say hi to everybody. I'm that guy. I'm that guy on the dog walk that says hi to everybody. I would say hi to you, even with my weird voice, because I have a weird voice. It's totally okay. I have a weirdo voice, a tranny voice. But that being said, you just proved my point. None of you would see me as grandpa. None of you would see me as a woman. That's the point I'm trying to make here. I'm not forcing any of you to take on my belief system because you don't even know that I used to be living as a woman, right? So I take responsibility in what I visually put out to the world because I visually want you to see me as a man. That's why I don't struggle with my identity. It's why I don't struggle with my pronouns. It's why I don't. That's why I know the minute somebody says to me, the minute someone says to me, she, her, woman, you'll never be a man. First off, they know who I am. Secondly, full bull, BS. I'm calling BS on it. They're only doing that to upset me. And guess what? It's my choice. Okay. This is something I really want you all to hear here because I'm studying a lot about this. It is my choice to get upset or not. Is it not? If you call me a woman or you say, you're just always going to be a lady. You're just always going to be female. You're just yeah, true. But you look like a woman. Or isn't it my choice to get mad at you? Or is it my choice to say, okay, friend, if that makes you feel better to call me she, guess what happens when I do that? I don't take on your anger. And I don't take on your disrespect, and I don't take on your desire to try to make me feel bad about myself, right? I don't. That's really a lesson I want everyone to understand how hugely powerful it is, especially in the day and age of social media. Because you all know we can fling insults at each other here. We can say nasty things to each other. We can do, hey, Neva, thank you so much, friend. It's a big problem when people try to shove their identity down your throat. This is why we're going to talk about this. I expect you to respect it, but absolutely refuse to reciprocate that same respect back. Bam. You just said everything I'm about to say here, Neva. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. That's exactly my point. It's a two-way street, people. You cannot identify as they and he and they, or whatever, the she and they, or whatever, and then expect everyone to fall over backwards because you choose to do this. But you, she, they, I'm talking to you out there, she, they, he, they, them, they, that, you turn around and call people cisgender when the majority of cisgender people do not want you to say that. And there you are, calling them cis when they asked you not to do it. How do you respect? How do you get respect? How? Thank you, Sherry. You're awesome. Thank you, friend. How do we get respect from people? How do we get respect? We respect back. I respect you. You respect me. I don't come over into your yard and take a shit and not clean it up. And you don't come into my yard and take a shit and not clean it up. We clean it, we shit in our own yard. Okay. Don't shit in other people's yards and then expect them to clean it up and expect everyone to be okay with it, because that's not respect. Respect, it's a real simple equation, people. Respect, you're eating. Well, sorry. Respect gets respect. And if you're going to sit there and push people to respect everything you want, but you are not willing to reciprocate that space, it ain't going to happen. It will never happen. Nothing will happen from that. You will be angry for the rest of your life. You will not function properly in the world. Thank you, friend. It's a real, I don't understand how people don't get it. It really is. I will never call you cisgender unless you want me to. I don't like that term, and I'm not using it. Okay. For example, Courtney is a woman. Okay. So she, her, woman, she's not a trans woman. She's not a cis woman. She's Courtney, my friend, Courtney. I never would call her a cisgender woman unless Courtney wants me to call her a cisgender woman. That's called respect. So here's what's happening in our community. Now, I'm going to bring this up because this particular TikTok, actually, this was a Reels, or let's just say TikTok. This one I found to be really crazy because I want you to see this. This one actually blows my mind, but I think it's really great to bring up right now. We're in the middle of talking about this.
Mistakes that trans allies make.
So here we have a transgender woman, and she loves to talk about how this woman loves to talk about how we're all doing it wrong and how she's going to use the word cis, trans allies. She talks always constantly about how everyone is anti-trans, how everyone hates trans people, how trans people are in danger. And no, they're not. I don't feel in any danger. I felt in danger 30 years ago, most definitely. Today, hell no. I feel zero danger. Are you kidding me? That's the pathetic nonsense these people keep perpetuating that goes into young trans people's brains. It literally goes into their brains. And then they all feel like the whole world is against them. And they all feel this is dangerous behavior, by the way. I'm trying to not do this. Okay. What I'm going to show you right now is I find this to be pathetic. I also find it to be kind of sketchy. So let's watch and then we'll talk about this. This is very bizarre.
3 common mistakes that trans allies make. Number 1, they think that believing in equality is enough. True allyship is not just a label you can claim. It is a state of being that requires consistent action. You can believe in equality and
you see, she's demanding from you. She's demanding obedience. Listen to the language. Okay, language is everything. Listen, she's demanding from you.
Still be subconsciously reinforcing harmful systems that keep trans people at risk. We need folks to do more than just
that keep trans people at risk. At risk of what?
Believe in us. We need them to show up for us. Number 2.
And don't forget, people, show up. Show up, people, because if you don't show up, okay, hold on. I have someone here giving me a super chat. Hold on, we're gonna get the regular this. What happened? Thank you, Fran. Thank you, Breaker. What happens when the left turns a huge amount of the younger generation against them? For example, every time I hear anti-racist, I roll my eyes and assume it's a crazy person. No, I'm right on board with you, Breaker. They're indoctrinating these kids to talk like this. This person who we're talking about right now, she is indoctrinating young people with this language to feel as if they're lesser than, and that everything is racist and everything is anti-trans and anti-LGBT, when that's not the truth. Hey, Danny, nice to see you, friend. Hate how trans is even thought of as an, that's exactly right. Am I really trans is a wrong question. Instead, would I be happier living as the other sex? Brilliant. That's what I was saying earlier. I don't want to be trans. I don't want to be any of that. I want to be happy. And trans is just sort of a bridge to my happiness. So listen to her.
They don't practice or educate themselves when trans people are not around. I've noticed that a lot of folks only feel the pressure of
you people out there who are not trans don't practice enough or educate yourself enough. Not, I mean, what?
Of getting it right when they are around trans people. They struggle with using our correct pronouns, but
no, they don't struggle. You struggle. These people don't struggle, friend. They struggle with you continually telling them how to think, walk, act, and B. That's not your job as a trans person, okay? Your job as a trans person is to live your life. It's an individual space. It's something that you have to take care of for yourself. I have nothing to do with how happy you are, friend. So I want you to see this. She is laying all of this guilt on you if you are a trans ally and you don't know what you're doing. That's what she's doing. She's laying guilt on you using this cultish language.
They don't actually set aside time to practice. They feel overwhelmed by all these new terms, but they'll...
Who's they? Who is they?
Google an actress's age way before they Google what does non-binary mean.
Because nobody cares about non-binary people. Why would anyone in this room, why would any of you Google non-binary? Why? Unless you're actually thinking about it, or it's really on your mind all day long, or they want you to be on their mind all day long. The narcissism. They want you to Google about them. They want you to find everything. They want you to talk. They want these talking points. That's why I ask you not to use cisgender. I ask you not to take on this language, because if you take on this language, you are participating in this insanity here. This has nothing to do with being trans. Zero. Nothing. Trans is a mental disorder, which you go and take medicine, you fix it by fixing the way you look, and then you turn around and you become that person and you go back in the world again. Everything this person is teaching you has zero to do with being trans. Nothing. It's indoctrination. That's what this is. Hey, Holly, thank you, friend. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you, friend. So,
practice and education is key. Now, before we go on to number 3, I have created a video workshop series that is here to help you do this work.
So wait, did you guys get that? So before we go on to number 3, I created a video series. Listen.
If any of this has resonated with you, sign up now. Number 3, they don't
sign up now. She created a course. This is where I just had to show you this because it's actually hilarious. So first she goes on about how y'all don't know anything, and she goes on to talk about how you're really bad allies, and because you are bad allies, I created a course for you, and it's only $159, and you can learn how to be a good ally. That is a Saturday Night Live skit. That is a Saturday Night Live skit. She just straight up into creating a course. I'm going to get the course because I want to see what says in that course. And then I'll bring it here for you all because I am just dying to see what she thinks she's going to do to make you a better ally. How about this, Miss Trans Woman? How about this? I have a better idea. If you really want people to learn, why don't you just do it for free? Why don't you just put out that course for free? Why are you selling it? Do I make a good point? Why is this woman selling a course on how to be a good ally? If she really wants you to be a good ally, you would think she would do it as a community service. Correct? Cecilia, I'm not confused. I'm annoyed by childish self-absorption. It is causing this backlash. That person is a grifter. I didn't say it. Bam. There you go. That's grifting. I want you to be a good ally. So how about if I create this course that only costs $159 and you buy it and you're going to be a great ally because you bought my course? That is insane. That is not being a good. That's grifting. It is. It totally is. That is not community service. That is not helping. Why don't you just teach people how, if you want somebody to talk a certain way, right? Wouldn't you teach them how to talk a certain way? Like, I'll show you an example here in a minute. Sage, thank you, friend. The thing these activists fear most is not having the illusion of societal persecution. Victim has become an identity choice. Thank you, friend. Thank you, Sage. I really believe victim has become an identity choice. Yeah. Why doesn't she just make it for free? I'm going to send her. I'm going to actually do a reaction to that. And I'm going to ask her, why isn't she creating that for free? If she really wants allies to learn language and allies to be better allies, wouldn't it be better if you didn't make a course that you sold, but you gave it away for free and you were willing to have conversations with people like we do here? Does this cost you anything? Nope. It doesn't cost you anything. Not at all, except your time, which is money. But you all graciously super chat me without me ever asking you for that. I never would, by the way. It's hugely appreciated. Believe me, it makes it easier to create this platform and to deal with all the stuff. But that being said, I want you to know that I don't expect anything from any of you. I am here to educate. That is my purpose. Thank you, Jane. Thank you so much. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not asking you for that, but you're so gracious to me that you give it to me. That's my point. And here I am educating you. On some level, I spend my time because I also enjoy it on some level. I enjoy my time with you here. Never. They feel danger because they know they're off the wall. No, they can't convince us that this is no, you're right. They totally know they're off the wall. They know it, yet they continue to do it. That's the thing. They do it. They continue to do it. It's actually sick. Thank you, MP2468. I'm off to an event where I'll be a group leader. There will be a lot of individuals asking for pronouns. Best advice for navigating this. Yes. This is what I highly suggest. And thank you for asking me. I don't believe in asking for pronouns. Okay. Let everyone else do their thing. That's not your job. Okay. You can graciously back out of that by saying, I don't use pronouns, or I don't do I always say that. I don't do my pronoun thing. Okay. So just graciously back out of it. That's how I do it. When I go to events and everyone's like, put your name tag on with he, them, I never put it. I don't put it on. And actually, no one really ever says anything to me about it, ever. But I highly suggest you stand your ground because you don't have to do the pronoun thing if it's not your space. That's what I want you all to know. You are under no obligation. Thanks for that. And thanks for the question. You all are under no obligation to use your pronouns. You are under no obligation to anyone or anything out there, okay, to follow the leader and to use certain kinds of language that might make you uncomfortable. For example, cisgender. Nobody in this space or in this world ever has to use cisgender, okay? And if you are uncomfortable with that and somebody used that label with you, all you need to say is, I'm not comfortable with that. Could you not do that? Thank you so much. And pretty much they won't do it. That's all you have to do. You just have to be willing to have the hey, Courtney, to have the conversation. I send super chats because you stand up for what is right when so many are demanding money to stand up for what's harmful. No, it's sweet. It means a lot to me, Courtney. I know you fling at me a lot. All of you do. You really do. And it's the reason I can do this. Even by liking these videos, even by subscribing to my channel, even by doing all of those things, you are helping me to create this platform. But I do, what my point was, is that person who is so obsessed with you allies all knowing how to talk right is selling the course instead of giving you the course for free. And thank you, Lucy. It does mean a lot to me. I love you all back. It does. It's how we can make these things happen. So that's my point. Why is this woman creating, right? This trans woman. What's wrong with simply calling someone by their name? I mean, the most basic of questions. Did you ever think we would be here? Did you ever in a million years? Never would I think we would be here worrying about pronouns, worrying about identity choices, worrying about who goes where and what, just saying that men can be women and women can be men and that sports doesn't matter. Did you ever in a million years think we could actually do this? I'm shocked. It's shocking to me that so here's what never, Sherry. Here's what I want to say. What does it say to all of you out there that people are so easily influenced with language? What does that say to you? Well, yeah, COVID, Heather. I do think everything really did, but it can't just be COVID. It's not just COVID. It's something else. I'm actually shocked Yeah, you should come to and give a speech at my school. Good luck with that, Jocelyn. They'll never let me at your school. I used to speak at all the universities all over the United States and the world. I'm never asked back now, ever, because I don't play the game, which is, I think that they would benefit from a trans person like me. Don't you? I think that they would. I think they would benefit from a transsexual who has 32 years of transition time, who could really talk to these young people about what it actually means to transition, and that it isn't fun, and it isn't like this thing that is going to change your life for the better. That's not true. It didn't necessarily change my life for the better. Okay. It helped me navigate the world, but other problems came into effect. That's ridiculous to think that everything is just going to be normal once you transition. I figured it out. I can't remember who told me, or with another person, what trans euphoria is. Trans euphoria. Now they insult trans people by saying fictional characters who aren't trans but have mind control parasites are trans. No, they do it all the time. Everything is trans now. Oh, also our history. Courtney, they're literally rewriting our history. They're saying that black trans women started Stonewall. No, 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 no. No. And do not call me racist. That's actually really pathetic. Nope. Nope. Black trans women did not start Stonewall. Nope. They came later with the drag queens. And back in the day, drag queens and trans women were like basically the same thing, and like cross dressers and all of that shit. Nope. 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 They did not start Stonewall. Nope. 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 Stop changing everybody's identity. They do this too with historical figures in our LGBT community, such as butch women who dress like men, because that's what butch women did back in the day. Me, dress like men. Okay. All of a sudden, any butch woman in the history of our LGBT community is now a trans man. It's pathetic and gross. It's so gross. It's not right. So that is gross when you start to actually revise our history in order to what? What do they do? Why would they do that? To make it look as if trans people have always been here when they haven't always been here. No, no, no. Let me just tell you guys something. I've been doing this for a long time. Okay. Before I transitioned 32 years ago, I was living as a gay butch woman. Super butch. Super, super butch. Okay. Couldn't tell if I was a boy or a girl butch. That butch. Okay. I dressed like a boy, was all that kind of thing. The boy name, all of it. Right. So I was in that community 40 years ago. There were no trans. If there was, they were very few and far. There were drag queens, but there were very few trans, not any trans men. Zero. Never saw a trans man until I started to transition. So I'm telling you, I physically was in these spaces. I physically saw what was going on in the community. These 20-year-olds and 25-year-olds who are taking queer theory at stupid universities and are telling me, okay, my own lived experience, that I'm not right and that they are. That's all you got to know. That's all you got to know. Because they twist everything around. Remember, everything is about lived experience. Oh, if you have lived experience, I have a lot of lived experience. I'm one of the oldest transsexual men out there. Okay. Not only in age, but also in transition time. Yet I'm looked at as a bad tranny. That's what you all need to see. In any other community, I would be revered. I would be looked at as like, wow, dude, you have a lot of time. What happened here? What happened in this space? What happened when you were 5 years on transitioning? What happened? You would think that they would want my voice in this space. Why don't they want my voice? Why does the trans activism not want my voice to be heard by you? Why do you think that is? Well, Murray Hill is a very good friend of mine, by the way, but Murray Hill is not trans. Right? because your words have more weight, because you don't buy into this crap, because they want to believe their own lies, because you speak the truth, right? You distort the narrative. Shame on them. I think you all answered it correctly. Thank you, Debbie. Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly right. That's pretty much sums it up right there, because I won't play the game. I will not play it. No way. Ironic. The people who scream about colonization nonstop have vulgar, I can't pronounce it. Sorry, colonized every aspect of gay history and world history with woke. No, everyone knows. Everyone knows. They are hiding something. Thanks, Sage. They're hiding something. What are they hiding? What are they hiding? Because your voice makes sense? Thank you very much. They're hiding something. Sounds like the student telling the teacher that they know more about the subject than the teacher who's instructing it. That's right. They are scared of something. They are scared. That should scare all of you, that an elder in a community that keeps pushing on you to validate them, to make them feel safe, to make them feel wanted, to make it as if everything that trans people want, trans people get. And when I step into it and I'm like, hold up, wait a minute here, that's not true. I've been doing this for X amount of years. I'll tell you how to navigate the world. You coexist in the world. You don't dominate the world ever, ever, ever. You cannot dominate. Domination creates a complete divide. You can see it in our politics in this country. You can see it between the Republican and the Democrats. You can see it between the left and the right. You can see nobody wants to coexist. Nobody wants to find solutions. I'm a solution-oriented person, by the way. Solution-oriented. How do I get those weeds out of my front yard? I pull them, I pick them, I do it. Why do they keep coming back? I need a solution for those weeds. I don't want to just keep going every week and having to shovel those weeds out of there. It's a bit annoying. I want a solution to the weeds. I can't stand it anymore. So instead of me struggling, I'm just going to go out with the thing and knock it down again. And then they pop right back again. I have to think of another means and a way to make sure that those weeds don't be coming back. It's called, right. Okay. Sage just said it right there. Sorry, this one. Solutions are not profitable. It always comes down to money, people. It always comes down to money. Always. You and I both know it. Trans is a massive moneymaker. Let's not lie about that. Let's just all be on board here. Massive moneymaker. If you disagree with me, let me know. Massive moneymaker. So why would they put my voice out there when I'm disagreeing with transitioning young people? Divide and conquer. They're not going to put my voice when there's a lot of money at stake. There is so much money, power, all of it. They are building an infrastructure, people. They are building a trans infrastructure. Hospitals, surgeons, pharmaceutical companies, therapy. Okay, all connected to what? Insurance. So little Tommy goes to Planned Parenthood and in 20 minutes gets Planned Parenthood costs, let's say $100. Next level, testosterone costs $200. Next level, possibly, hopefully, therapy. Next level, hormones. Surgery. Money, 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 money. Guess what happens? You have to keep going back. You have to keep going back to surgery. You have to keep going, getting your hormones. You have to keep doing your therapy. You have to keep going back, and it becomes a cycle. And that creates money, which has created an infrastructure all around what? The identity of trans. And here's how I feel about that. I'm disgusted. It's pathetic. It's scary. It's wrong. This is not fun. I don't want to be this person, everybody. I hope you really understand when I say that. This is not something that I aspired to be. This is not something that I wish upon anybody. It is not fun. I wanted to go back to this joy. What is it called? Trans euphoria. What do they call it? Trans euphoria, the young people. The reason they call it trans euphoria is because of this. And I realized this, thinking about it more and more. The first year of your transition, the first year is so amazing. It is. There's no doubt about it. And I did it 32 years ago when I didn't have anybody around me. Okay, nobody. Thank you, Jose. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you. It means a lot to me because I can do it because of you guys and girls and people. I can do it because of you. You know, it sort of lifts me up and helps me. You have me on your shoulders, if that makes sense. You really do. All of you here who show up and listen and participate. It's a group effort. It's not just me. You give me this platform to be able to talk like this, you know, and that's something that I need for you to all understand. That's how come you're important to me, because you do put me up and you do help me to be able to say these things. Now, not to say that I wouldn't say it if you weren't here, but I would continue to be this person. But what you do is you help me to amplify this message. And the more me and you as a team amplify this message, the more people come here and start to hear the reality of the situation, because people are pissed. People are pissed at what we're doing to kids. So trans euphoria in the young trans space is all about that first year. Hormone, put testosterone in your body and see how you feel. It'll change everything. You'll be like, whoa, it just gives you all this energy. It's crazy, but that wears off. Hey, Scott, thank you, my friend. Thank you, buddy. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Thank you. You know, it wears off. Hey, Toasty, you're never late. You're never late. The euphoria wears off, people. Eventually it becomes, I don't want to say a burden, but what's another word for a burden? Because I don't feel burdened by this, but I feel like I just wish I wasn't this. I wish I didn't have to shoot hormones every week. I wish I didn't have to continually think about my appearance, because I do. I don't care what anybody says. Even 30 years into this, I still think of my appearance. I still think, am I male enough? I still think, do people know? I think all of the things I thought of from the beginning. It doesn't necessarily go away. And they're lying to you if they say that it does. But you got to remember, who is in charge of the trans space right now? Who is in charge of it? Is it the elder people who've transitioned a million years ago and are like set in their ways and are willing to have the conversation? Or is it a young TikTok group of people who are in charge? Because I think if the older people were in charge, you would see a different, well, socialists for sure. If the elder people were in charge of what's happening, you would see a different narrative coming out of that community. Neva, thank you, friend. I ordered an herbal remedy book. There seems to be a lot of controversy around it, and I think it's because people will be able to treat illness without having to buy medic. Of course, they always 100. I'm a total natural person too. I try to veer away from any medications. I use cannabis for sleep, but other than that, I try not to take any kind of medications. I have to do my hormone therapy, but other than that, I'm very much into the natural remedies as well. And Big Pharma does not like you. Big Pharma doesn't like you, friend. They don't want us to naturally heal ourselves. They want us to be dependent. So that goes back to that platform. They're building a platform for you and I to be dependent upon, right? Oh, I'm so sorry, Breaker. I'm so sorry. I missed it. It gets totally crazy. I won't. Here, let me go back. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for all of these great super chats. It really means the world to me that you see this and you're willing to fling this cash at me. It helps us a lot here. It helps Seth and I both to be able to create these really great space. But Breaker, I'm sorry that I missed it. I apologize, friend. Sometimes I just get speaking and it just happens. So, but I just want you to know that I appreciate that very much, friend. Okay. So I appreciate it. Thank you, friend. So here's what I want to say moving forward. Let's get into this. Thank you, Antone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Really. I mean, I can't say thank you enough. I can't. But Angel, you could walk into any bar in a logging town. Thank you. That's the whole point. But you know, I still have a little bit of that stuff. Am I passing enough? Can somebody tell? Even though I know how I look, but sometimes it comes, that old behavior comes back. That's what I need for everybody to understand. You think taking hormones and transitioning and everything is just going to be hunky dory? Nope. You're around all your friends. That's the other thing. These kids are transitioning around all these other trans kids, and they're all sucking each other's big toe. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're so amazing. Oh, you're so amazing. Oh, you're so amazing. And then what happens when you no longer have that friend base and they're no longer telling you how amazing you are, and you're not getting all of that feedback that you need from TikTok? What happens then? What happens when you're no longer getting the validation? You're trans. Oh my God, it's amazing. Wow. Oh, what happens? You're going to fall apart. You're going to fall apart. And it's going to be a horrible, I don't wish it upon anyone. Thank you, Stories of Israel. Thank you so much. Oh, you're so sweet. Just this morning, I watched a video about Elliot Page. Oh, God. I don't even know what to say about Elliot. He was talking about trans joy. See? And he looked absolutely miserable. I've seen it. I felt really sad for him. It's a great question. You know, I've been trying to avoid Elliot because I feel very sad for Elliot. I actually do. I don't think Elliot is in any way, shape, or form. Anyway, I know you do, Neva. I'm going to bring you up right now. I know you do. It helps. We appreciate, and I appreciate it. So thank you. Elliot, I feel sad. There's just something there that is making me feel something's not right. I don't know what it is. I've veered away from it, even kind of creating anything about it, because I don't want to be a part of the backlash that that person is getting, because they're getting a lot of hate, and I see it, and it's not cool, and it's mean. And yeah, you know, I don't think he's doing well. I just don't think so. And I think this is what I think. Yeah, I think that I think something weird. So people say that they think that Elliot Page is the former Elliot. Yeah, that's right. You know. So Seth, if you didn't know who we're talking about, hey, Vicky. So, you know, it's just something about it it's very bizarre to me. They don't look happy. They're not doing this community any good, because people are using his transition to say nobody should transition because he looks miserable and not happy. So I looked at who's the people that Elliot's hanging out with. Oh, the same people, the same toxic trans brigade, all of them. They're all influencing Elliot, and you can see it. So that's Elliot's hanging out with a very disturbing group of people. And that's what happens when you surround yourself. You know, that's one of the things I want everybody here to understand. And I'm pretty sure you do. The company you keep matters. The company you keep matters. Know that. Whoever you're surrounding yourself with, and however you feel in your life and things are going wrong and you hate this and why don't you look at the people you're hanging out with? Look at who surrounds you. Look at who's speaking to you. Look at the messages you're getting from the group of people that you surround. I'm not kidding. I'm not. It actually really matters, the people that surround you. So talking about Elliot, who's Elliot hanging out with? And what messages I feel like Elliot feels burdened with the trans narrative. You know that? That's what I feel. I feel like he's being burdened to say things for the ACLU and trans kids are kids and all the same mantras. that are being fed to him. If you listen to him speak, he's just saying what everybody else says. There's nothing new coming out of his mouth. There's no, I feel amazing and trans joy. Why he's like, no, not good. Not good at all. So let's look at a couple of these TikToks before we have to go here. Oh, I'm going to show you. You guys all ready? Last week, this platform messed up, so we didn't get to do it. You guys ready? I'm going to bring up some stuff that's going to hurt you. That's going to hurt your eyes. And you can blame me for the rest of your day. Are you ready? You all sitting down? You want to have a drink of water first? Maybe smoke a cigarette. All right, kids, here we go. Get in your seat. Get solid in your seat and hold on to the table. You're a big girl. Okay, hold on here. This is actually disturbing. Okay, you asked for it. Here it comes.
Everlasting love, this will be the one I've waited for. This will be. This will be.
Yeah, that happened. That happened. This is actually on the internet. I know. I wrote on there, oh my God, what did I see? Only because you're all adults. I'm not going to do a reaction. Like I was going to do it on my Instagram, and I realized, no, I just don't want to do that. I just don't want to. But since we're all adults here, I hope. What is that? Who does that to their child? And also, okay, if you want to play dress up at home in your own private space, you're a parent and that's your kid and that's how it works. And I'm not really sure, is that child abuse if you're just doing it at home? Because all kids want to play dress up. That part doesn't bother me. The trophies. The part that bothers me is this. This is not okay. You're literally putting your kid on the internet. And I just want you to see this. It actually creeps me out. Watch. So he's a cute little boy, right? Watch. This something about this really creeps me out.
Waited for. This will be. This will.
Watch. Did you see the little kid dancing like that? It's totally a little Jeffrey. The kid is dancing like, I don't know why. I feel like I'm being judgmental right now. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being judgmental, but there's something wrong with that little piece of the pie. I just, my gut went nuts on that one. Yucky, yuck, yuck, and yuck. Stardust. Why is he holding him? Yes, in a death grip. Let him go. No, it's crazy, you guys. It is. It's not right. Okay, thank you for validating my feelings. Thank you for validating my feelings, everybody, because I'm telling you, I just don't understand why somebody would put their child on the internet like that. It's just, that's the part we have to really start to sort of buckle down on. It is not, yep, Nambla. It is not okay. There's something yucky about that. I don't feel cool about it at all. I feel totally just like, it's just not right. Hey, parent kind of looks like, no, even the kid does. The kid actually looks like it's going to be a little Jeffrey Marsh for sure, which, okay. Let's bring up the next one. Now, I did a reaction to this one. You might have all seen it, but in case you didn't, I wanted to bring this up because I want to have a little chat about this. Watch. This pertains to identity. Okay, here comes another one. Sit down.
I want to try to define my gender, but it's really hard in 60 seconds, so I'm going to talk really fast. I'm gender fluid, and here's how that works for me. Most of the time, I'm one of two like modes or mindsets. Most of the time, I am this weird amalgamation of like genders and vibes and essence and just being that I literally cannot define. I don't know. You're just gonna have to take my word for it. It's like the universe. It's like ever flowing. There's like sparkles, and it's just like it changes over time and it moves through each other, and it's never one thing. And then other like majority of the time I'm just a void. Like there's nothing there. There's just an absence, and I don't know how else to describe it. So either everything or nothing. Those are the two that I'm usually in. But then every once in a while, and I don't know where it comes from, but I'll just be thrust back into a binary. I'll just be sitting there chilling, enjoying my life, and then all of a sudden I'm a man? Like, who asked?
What? Oh my God. This is what I'm telling you all. That is not right. Something is wrong. I don't even know what they were saying until they got to the part where, and then all of a sudden I'm thrust back into being a man. Like, what? I mean, it's so absurd. These people are connected to me. These people are trans people. I don't relate to any. There is something going on. Is that autism or BPD or what is it? It's something else. I'm telling you, this kid is struggling. Just avoid. But it's sad. I know you all. She made my ears bleed. I know you all are very empathetic and beautiful people. I know that. Yeah, girl, absence of personality. And I know that we all don't. Why? Hey, Kellyanne, thank you, friend. Why do they have to? That's right. Complicate something so freaking. Because it's a great question. Because they don't feel worthy enough just being themselves. That's what's happening here. That's the indoctrination of this whole community. This is an excellent question. Because they don't feel that they are enough. Even though if you think about the mantra that comes out of the trans community, what's the mantra? You are enough, right? It comes out all the time. You are enough. They don't feel that way. It's why they have to say it. It's why they have to have all of these different identities and personalities and pronoun, because they don't feel enough. And it's a great question. I want to know also, why do these kids not feel that they're enough? What are they seeking? They're seeking something. And instead of us being honest to them, and instead of us saying, well, you are okay, kiddo, and you don't have to go and be trans, and you don't have to be non-binary, and you don't have to be any of those things. It literally breaks my heart. I hope that you saw my energy change there. My energy changed with that question, because in my brain, I rack it every day and I think to myself, what's going on? I want to help these young people so bad, but they hate me so bad, so much, because I'm telling them that they're not trans and they don't have to be trans, but they don't want to hear that. Can I read something to all of you that would really make me happy to share this email I got this morning right before the show? Because I think it really does pertain to a lot of what we're talking about here. And I think that it would be very awesome for you to hear what this little young person wrote me. Yeah, I know. Thank you, Kellyanne. It really, I could cry. You know, I'm a crier. So it does. So it's just shocking. And as a 61-year-old, I just feel so sad and I feel heartbroken that these kids are being led down a broken path. They're not being led down anything solid. So let me read this to you all. Thank you for wanting to hear it. I appreciate it very much. Okay, so I'm going to read this to you right now. Here we go. Hi, Buck. I first wanted to say that I absolutely and wholeheartedly love and support you and your messaging. You are doing wonders for damage control necessary on the transgender issue and making sure that the right information and people are being pushed to the top. So I first wanted to give you your props because I can't imagine how many people you have helped. I also wanted to add to the conversation of the attraction towards transsexuals. I have known I was a lesbian before I had the words for it. Age 9, I knew something was different. Now I'm almost 17 and been through the whole propaganda and misinfo ringer within the TQIA, wow, you guys, communities, especially on TikTok, which is the worst place for it all. Even though I went by they, he pronouns, and I'm fully aware of how crazy this is and how different it is from actual transsexualism. And for what I apologize to real trans people like yourself and can confidently say they try to change you and your attractions. Did you hear that? I can confidently say that they try to change you and your attractions. I really do feel the reason I started identifying that way, besides, of course, TikTok influence, go figure, haha, was because I felt so confused in general, not confused about my gender, but was mistaking the general confusion I felt toward the hyper leftist talking points, 17, and how they told me I should be living. Oh my gosh, you guys, I should be living and what I should be doing, and thought it was because I was uncomfortable in my body. No, I was uncomfortable in my mind because my mindset was so catered towards victimhood and fighting the good fight. I was losing reality in many aspects, and it just happened to impact the way I thought I identified. And I feel that visceral discomfort that I thought was dysphoria was just extreme discomfort from how far I was cognitively disassociating from logical thought. And deep down, I knew that. Speaking of the attraction subject, I have been called a trans medicalist, bigot, and transphobic for just saying I am not attracted to trans women that still have a penis. And I just feel gaslit and confused. Wasn't the whole point of accepting homosexuality to actively accept it and not try to change my preferences? It's very predatory and creepy. And it even worse when you can't always tell who's being disingenuous and scary. Your videos help me sort out my confusion and somewhat impatience with these people. Once again, thank you, Buck. Have a beautiful day. Wow. 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 That was a 17-year-old who wrote me something that pertains to everything we spoke today. They talked about being indoctrinated at 17. They talked about how nobody would accept them unless they went along with the narrative, how they tried to talk them out of being a lesbian, how they called them names when they did not. 17 people. This is a 17-year-old. Want to know something? That's because of you. That's because of you that person wrote this space to us. That's for us. That's not just for me. I just want you to know. That's why I wanted to share it with you. It's not just me. You are helping to create a space where young 17-year-old kids who are being confused about who and what they are can come here and be a part of us in our community of loving, caring, reality-based. Trust that we're going to give them the correct information. Trust that we want them to be happy and that they aren't a bad person and that they aren't necessarily trans. It's because of you. Kellyanne, I had to protect an elderly lady in the restroom from a trans person. I wish I had more space in the chat to tell you the whole story. Well, why don't you send Seth an email? It's in our bio, and maybe I can bring you on to the show and we can do an interview with you because I'd love to hear more about that. So I just want you to see the kids are struggling, people. The kids are struggling, and the trans community is not helping them. Wise. Ugh. Bam. Never. Bam. Wise. So wise. Kiddo, if you're watching, I'm going to send that to them. I'm going to send that to them. Thank you. And there's the email. Anybody wants to send us an email? Seth checks the emails daily and he gets them to me. So thank you so much. You know, you guys, thank you for letting me read that email. It was such a beautiful thing I saw right before I got on here this morning. And it just says a lot to me. And what it does, I always believe the universe gives me little hints. And if you're not aware or you're not necessarily spiritually connected to energies or things, I just want to let you know things do happen for a reason. They do. I highly believe that. Don't miss the signs. Don't miss the signs. Whatever that means to you, don't miss the signs. That was a sign. It came right before I went on air with you. That's a sign. That means something. And what that means is that you and I as a team are creating a platform for young 17-year-old kids to feel as if they don't have to take that route, and that they're not weirdos, and that they can be gay women, and that they can be butch women, and that they don't have to transition, and that they can live their life and move forward. And that's the most important part of this platform to me, is telling kids, you don't have to go that way. And nobody knows you better than you. Okay. So if you're feeling something's not right, it's not right. Listen to your gut. Listen to your gut. And when your friends are telling you you're trans, listen to your gut. And when your friends are telling you you're not gay, you're queer, listen to your gut. And when you only hear the same things being repeated over and over and over again, listen to your gut, because I guarantee you what's happening in here is a red flag for you to say something's not right. Okay. So that's it. That's it for today, kids. Let's go and let's put out beautiful stuff in the world, and let's hope we get more. Okay. Let's hope we get, I don't know why they're so homophobic, Jeannie. I don't know. I believe there's a war on homosexuality for sure. So let's put out some positive vibes into the world today. Again, joining me on Therapy Day, a great therapy session today, by the way, great therapy session. Thank you all so much. I hope that you leave here today feeling a little energized and feeling that we're not lost. That's a fact. That's a fact. They definitely need to. Victimhood is self-destructive. If you take responsibility for yourself in your own life, that's right. You've got to be responsible for you. I'm not responsible for you, and you are not responsible for me. What I say on this show, I am 100% responsible for. And what you put out in the world, you're responsible for. So when you put out hate, you better be responsible for that. But when you put out love, you will also be responsible for that. So don't forget that. Hold yourself accountable to those things. And when you feel like what's happening in the trans space is wrong, but you're too scared to speak up, think of me. Think of me. I encourage you to speak up. Even if I disagree with you, speak up. Because if you start to get any inkling of being fearful, it'll only continue to get inside of you, and it will destroy you. Say it. No matter what anybody else, say it. Because if you say it, it gives you power. And somebody out there will agree with you. But there's this idea that you're not even allowed to say it anymore. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I say it all the time. It's why I'm hated. All right, friends. And hey, being hated isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just isn't. It sometimes makes you realize, oh, maybe I'm saying something. Maybe I'm saying something that's rubbing somebody the wrong way. Okay, kids and people and everyone. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for joining me. Have the beautiful rest of your week. And next week, I'll talk to you about New York. I'll be there from the 2nd to the 8th. Okay, see you guys later.